We have seen how a single, isolated agent plans, uses tools, and evolves its capabilities. Now, let us turn our attention to Segment 4, Collective Multi-Agent Reasoning. What happens when a given task is simply too complex, too broad in scope, or requires too many highly specialized, disparate skills for any single agent model to handle effectively? The answer is that we scale up. We move from relying on an isolated, monolithic problem solver to engineering a collaborative, distributed ecosystem. This is not just about instantiating multiple copies of the exact same LLM. It is fundamentally about role differentiation, specialized prompts, and the strategic division of labor. In a multi-agent system, frequently abbreviated as MAS, independent agents assume entirely complementary roles, much like highly trained humans do in a professional corporate organization. This architectural design distributes the immense cognitive load and allows individual agents to deeply specialize in specific subtasks, preventing context dilution. Let us look at the formal taxonomy of these specialized roles. First, there are generic roles that universally appear in almost any complex multi-agent system architecture. For example, the leader or coordinator agent. This agent maintains high-level structural coherence, actively breaks down the main objective into sub-goals, and delegates them. Then there is the worker or executor agent, which acts as the operational backbone, meticulously writing code, executing commands, or using specialized APIs. Crucially, we have the critic or evaluator agent, which acts as an adversarial quality assurance mechanism, rigorously verifying hypotheses or judging the outputs of the worker agents for flaws. We also see specialized memory keeper agents curating long-term vector knowledge and communication facilitator agents governing exactly how agents are allowed to talk to each other to prevent endless loops or communication bottlenecks. But what is truly fascinating about current multi-agent research is how these generic roles seamlessly map onto powerful domain-specific roles. For instance, in the domain of software engineering, and MAS might directly mirror a real-world enterprise development lifecycle. You deploy architect agents to design the system, developer agents to implement the logic, code reviewer agents to enforce security standards, and release agents to handle deployment. In finance, you might structure a system with analyst agents constantly extracting unstructured market signals, paired with risk manager agents relentlessly running portfolio stress tests, overseen by compliance agents, ensuring strict regulatory adherence. And in modern healthcare research applications, a rapid triage agent assesses cases and routes them to specialized vision agents for radiology, before a lead physician agent meticulously synthesizes the disparate data into a holistic final diagnosis. So how do these highly specialized agents actually collaborate? How exactly do they divide the labor in practice? We categorize this interaction into two main dimensions. The first dimension is in-context collaboration. This type of collaboration happens dynamically at inference time without retraining the underlying neural network models. Some enterprise systems use manually crafted pipelines. These are rigid, predefined organizational hierarchies where the execution order and communication channels are strictly fixed by human developers. While this approach is highly stable and predictable, it is not very adaptable to dynamic edge case problems. Conversely, more advanced systems utilize LLM-driven pipelines. Here, a central orchestrator model dynamically routes subgoals to specific specialists entirely based on an active understanding of the context of the query. Sometimes, this dynamic routing is even augmented with a sophisticated theory of mind, allowing routing agents to actually probabilistically reason about the hidden beliefs, capabilities, and intentions of other agents to collaborate much more effectively. Then there is the second dimension, post-training collaboration. This is where we optimize the multi-agent system's fundamental structure through algorithmic learning. Instead of relying on human engineers, we might use evolutionary algorithms to autonomously search for the single best communication graph or network topology for a specific class of enterprise tasks. Or, we might use deep multi-agent reinforcement learning to explicitly train a lightweight router agent to become statistically better at selecting the optimal specialist for a given problem over millions of simulated iterations. Finally, just as a single agent can evolve, an entire multi-agent system can co-evolve. This multi-agent evolution specifically aims to rapidly improve the collective, synergistic performance of the entire group. To achieve this complex feat, the system requires an incredibly robust approach to shared memory. Engineers must decide, does the system use a strict hierarchical memory architecture to extract high-level global insights, or a heterogeneous design where each individual agent is forced to keep private, hyper-specialized local memories? Is the collective memory heavily centralized and aggressively verified for factual accuracy before writing, or is it distributed and freely shared among the open agent pool to maximize creativity? Training modern multi-agent systems to organically evolve their shared memory and dynamic coordination strategies, essentially shifting from a static, hard-coded hierarchy to a rapidly self-improving, autonomous organization, is arguably one of the most exciting and profound frontiers currently being explored in agentic AI research.